Mhm.
So generating power when you don't flip the right wrist, that's how mid handicappers usually like to put power on the shaft. So where do you feel like your power comes from?
Number one, the core source of the power is through body rotation. Okay, so body's going to wind up and unwind. As the golf club is going back on that wind up, the weight of the club, I like to feel how the weight of the club cocks the wrist and it creates a little bit of a loop-like effect, kind of like snapping a whip. And so you'll see in this, turn, and then that hinge right there loops the golf club under the forearm. There's tremendous amount of speed that can be created by this transition working that way. So now you can see this angle right here. As my body rotates left, then the effect of that is going to be how the golf club, the club face, whips around coming through, kind of like pulling a water skier on the end of on the end of a boat. And so as I'm turning through, there's the wind up, loop it, chip it on through. Then there's that lag effect coming through that creates that power.
So you feel a circular motion with your wrist action.
Yeah, it's a centrifugal whip.
So let's take this concept that Rob just demonstrated in terms of a loop of the wrist or a clockwise motion of the wrist through the backswing, transition to the downswing. So you can see here's Rory McIlroy. That's where the shaft is at. And you can see the wrist, there's clearly a bit of a loop action there, and it causes the shaft to get slightly more shallow as he's coming into the downswing. We got Dustin Johnson, even a little more pronounced in terms of the looping and how the wrists are moving in a clockwise manner to help with the shaft shallowing. So even though there's some differences in the degree, they both are implementing the same principle, which is the weight of the club helps set the wrist, the rotating in a clockwise motion shallows the club so they can pull and the club releases with that pulling motion through the impact.